Hello and welcome. This is Silver Rocks. And lately I've been thinking, would it be possible to make a bearing out of cardboard? Well, I've been laying out some plans for this. You can see all the measurements here. You won't actually need this. If you want this, you can download this on my Patreon. There's a full PDF file with all of these plans printed out. But if you want to follow this video, you won't need this because I will be actually making it myself now. So starting off with the outside ring, there will be two rings, one on the top and one on the bottom, and the same thing for the inside ones. There will be two rings, one on the top and one on the bottom, and there will be then a strip on the outside and a strip on the inside that will enclose all of the individual bearings that you can see here. To get started, we are going to need to make the outside ring first, and I know that the outside ring has a radius of 8 centimeters. That will be the outer ring, and the inner ring for that one will be 7 centimeters. So let's do this. Okay, this here should be fine. And we are left with that one. After that, we are going to do the second one in the inner one. The inner one is a 7 centimeter radius. I almost said diameter, but we actually want the radius at 7 centimeters. We are actually going to need two of these, one to pour on the top and one to pour on the bottom, so they will be squishing all the bearings inside. So we are going to have to do this again with the 8 centimeter one and the 7 centimeters. And with this, now we have both the top and the bottom of the ring laid out, and now with these plans we are going to need to do the inside ones. The inside ones, I know that the outside is a 5 centimeter radius, and the inside is a 4 centimeter radius. So let's put it like this. I know that the outside one is a 5. So lay out the 5 one. And the inside one is 4. And there we go. We now have all 4 of our circles completed. These will now have to be cut, but before we do that, going back to the plans, we have the individual bearings. Yeah, there we go. We have the individual bearings. These are actually 1.8 centimeters from one side to the other. So that would be 1 point diameter. Actually, no, that's wrong. I just take my plans, and this is not 1.8 mm. This is still the radius. I actually misspelled it. Getting that back, we now are going to have to make. This is actually divided in 10 different bearings, so I would have to make 20 different circles. So let's start that. Now I'm going to have to make 20 of these ones, and I have to cut these two out, so I'll be stopping here. Well, and after about 10 minutes of cutting, this is what we are left with. We are left with all the individual bearings that will eventually look like this. And we are also left with the two individual rings, which will overlap the bearings, encapsulating them inside so that they can't move around. The outside part of the bearing is merely a piece of cardboard that's wrapped around two of these, and they make this is 1.5 centimeters long, so 1.5 centimeters, and this will eventually have a strip on the outside and on the inside. As you can see, this is all that I need to finish right now. Well, at this point, with every single piece cut, I now have to determine what is going to be the thickness of the overall bearing. And for this one, I am going to be needing about 2.2 centimeters. Yes, that's 2.2. This will be how thick it will be in the end, and it will look more or less like this. Now imagine that all the bearings will be on the inside of this. This will going to have a face all around it, and this is going to have one all around here, making sure that the bearings can actually move from here. As you can see, this is going to be how it's supposed to look like at the end. So at this point, all of the bearings are now made. The inner section is made as well. The outer section is ready to be closed. To get this ready, you're just pretty much going to put all the bearings inside. grab our outside wall and encase everything. And finally add the final wall. And there you go. The bearing is now finally completed. All I'm going to do now is glue this part, and then I'm actually going to test this to see how well it supposedly is. Well, I've been playing around with this for a while, and unfortunately there are a few problems with this. One, I didn't calculate the distance that will be between these, since they are actually thicker than it should be. So what happens is, yeah, they are stuck in place. The inner circle is actually fully rotating inside, and the bearings are actually staying in place. You can see I'm going to grab this bearing here. Yeah, this just rotates freely. Sometimes they get loose, but in this case, the other side it's completely stuck in place. They aren't glued, by the way. You can actually rotate them individually, as you can see. The problem is they are so close to each other that you can't actually turn them. The other problem, you may have seen this, yeah, the middle is completely loose. I mean really loose. So this was actually the first attempt at this. I may try it again in the future. In the future I have to actually decrease the size, the radius of this. These were 1.8. I should have made them 1.7 because the extra material from the cardboard that was placed in there. So that's something to fix. This actually has to be increased because, as you can see, there's quite a lot of wiggle in there. But other than that, that was a pretty successful try. If you want to try this yourself, you can go to my Patreon at patreon.com/silverboxcraft, where you can download the plans for this and many other projects I have done in the past. Thank you for watching.